Hi guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're going to be making a hemp surfer bracelet. So I've got a roll of hemp here, one small wood bead, and the scissors. Let's dive right in. So if you've made paracord bracelets before, this bracelet's going to take similar cord requirements. I'm going to use about 1.5 feet of cord per inch of weave, just to have enough extra at the end. But first, to make the core of the bracelet, we're just going to use a separate piece. So I'm going to use a 4-strand core, and I'm just going to cut it plenty long so that I have some extra. If you've worked with paracord before, hemp is going to be a little bit different. To start out with, it's stiffer, but it will loosen up after a while after it's been wet, and it does have varying thickness, which means when you're tightening your knots, you'll just have to be aware of that. It's going to have a unique look, and not everything is going to be even. So I've folded the cord in half twice so that we have our 4 strands. The side that has 2 loops, we're going to start on that side with our weave starting about 1 inch down. You want your loop to just be a little bit bigger than your bead so that can fit through there tight as the bracelet closure in the end. Since this bracelet's going to be about 7.5 to 8 inches, I'm going to go ahead and cut about 10 to 12 feet of this hemp. Alright, once you've got that cut, go ahead and find the middle, and we're going to be wrapping that around the back side of those 2 loops. Make sure your loops are even, and then go ahead and just do 1/2 hitch with each cord. So to show you how to do that, so it's going to be over the top, around the back, and up through that loop. Pull all the rest of your cord through. So you'll notice at this point that nothing is held in place. If you let go of this left side cord, it's basically just looped around. So now we're going to do the same thing with our left cord, just to get that in place. So over the top, around the back, and up through the loop. So now we're not going to be alternating each knot anymore. We're going to be doing 8 knots with this side, and then 8 knots with this left side. And that's going to give us that zigzag pattern that you saw at the beginning. So we'll just keep on doing that pattern here. Make sure you go over the top. If you've done paracord, it's tempting to go underneath the next time, but you'll just have to remember always over the top. Cinch that down right next to it. As you're just getting started, you can go ahead and double check to make sure your loop is the right size for your bead to fit through. Alright, so now I've got 8 on this one. It's starting to kind of curl around. You can force it into being flat. The easiest way to check if you have the right number of weaves, if you've lost track, is to count the inside portion here. You'll see 8 stripes. So now after those 8, I'm going to switch it up and do this other side. So go ahead and just bring it all the way down and across, and then up through that loop. Then here's where we turn it into the zigzag pattern. You want to pull this cord fairly tight so that it bends over your previous weave. You want to keep that nice and tight as you make your next one to lock it in place. And you're going to want to make sure that it's the same distance each time so that you have an even zigzagging pattern. So now I'm going to go ahead and make 6 more knots for a total of 8 on this side, and then you'll see how it looks. So I'm going to do a couple knots with this side just so you can see that zigzag pattern. There, and we'll cinch it down to be about the same length as our other side. And 1 more knot to keep it in place. There we go. So we've got a little S going there. We'll just keep that pattern going the rest of the bracelet. We're going to go until it's about 1 inch shorter than your wrist so that we have room to put that bead on the end. So you can just periodically test it out until you have your wrist measurement minus about 1 inch. We'll see you then. So here we are, made it to the bottom. You'll see that it's a little bit uneven at places. There's parts where the hemp is thicker, but that's just kind of part of the aesthetic of working with natural fibers. To finish it off, I'm just going to take my weave cords and my core strands and put them all through the bead. So I'll thread that on the end here. That should just nestle right up against there. You can tie an overhand knot first if it's going to slide down on the rest of the bracelet. I'm just going to leave it how it is. You could even leave it a little bit loose so that you have a narrower portion for this loop to hook on past the bead. Now that I've got the bead on, I'm going to just tie an overhand knot in all of the cords. Once you get that cinched where you want it, you'll have to pull these cords one by one just to make sure that the knot is good and tight. All right, got that good and tight now. I'm going to cut off the ends, but you're going to want to leave a little bit of a tassel on the end. Otherwise, whenever your bracelet gets tugged on, those cords are going to pull right through the knot. So I'll do a 1/4 inch or so. Then you can kind of slide your bead right up against that knot to tighten it even further. And then we're done, and you can go ahead and put it on. So there's your surfer bracelet, all done. Now you're ready to hit the waves and soak up some sun. Links to all the supplies used in this video, so the hemp cord and the wood bead, can be found in the description. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this with macrame or paracord tutorials. We do a lot of those. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.